ready? Yeah, everything's good to go.
We are ready to go.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Perspective, episode 6, going into week 9 of the LCS, finishing up with week 8. I am the fantasy gamer with my co-host, the Night Kid, and we will kick into
The
this.
night kid.
The Night Kid who plays Fortnite on his computer at night.
Yeah, all that stuff.
All right, moving into the last week's results. A couple surprising things. I guess again CLG won both of their games. The biggest upset I would
Yep.
say would be CLG beating Echo Fox. Would you consider Clutch beating Echo Fox an upset, or the way
They called it an upset when I was watching it, but I was like, that's not an upset, man. First against third is not an upset. That's just like
it's like that's
two top tier teams going against each other. And I don't see that as an upset.
yeah.
I'd say
TS
CLG against
Echo Fox
Echo Fox
and
is really the only
well
upset we saw.
maybe
And
TSM Cloud9.
TSM against Cloud9 based on their rankings, definitely. So two
Yeah.
upsets, which your boy called again.
Yep, I'm off, always off by one. Damn. All right.
But I'd say this week, even though there weren't well, there were only two upsets. I think this week showed most people actually playing to their full potential. I think Clutch beating Echo Fox. I don't think Echo Fox is that great a team. They were playing really well, but I think it was kind of the meta they were in was really good for them. And this one shows like the new meta people coming up in the new patch. So CLG I think is better than Echo Fox and FlyQuest. C9 beating Optic. I think Optic's lower tiered. TSM beating TL. I think TSM has a better team, but that was a really close one. 100 Thieves should have won both their games with their lineup. TL beating Clutch was a little bit surprising. That could almost be called an upset, but they're pretty close in the rankings too.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a close game. TSM Cloud9 should be a close game like it was, but I think this week kind of showed like where people should have been at the beginning of the season, pretty much. This is kind of what it should have looked like. Clutch, CLG, Cloud9, TL, TSM all being at the top, 100 Thieves
Echo Fox
all
kind of
being in there.
yeah.
And
But like
yeah, Echo Fox, I
would
mean, they have a decent squad, but I don't
yeah.
think they deserve to be in first place. I don't think they're that good after seeing them in this patch.
Yeah, I would love. I would love to see CLG knock TSM out. But the way it's looking now, it's probably going to be TSM, if anything, CLG, if anything, knocking TL out. But
I mean,
I would
yeah, I don't know.
it would be
Hard at this point.
the first finals without a TSM if they get knocked out, and I would just love that, honestly.
The way TSM is playing, though, taking the game from TL and Cloud9 this week, like the big thing that was failing, and Bjergsen was talking about, was Mike Young and the meta that they were in. And with the change, Mike Young did carry both of those games, and that's what we're going to keep seeing because this is the patch for the championship.
I got like a
You might even see TSM take first place. Honestly, you might see them come in and win the 2 out of 3s that they're good at, and come from the 6th slot. Especially if somebody because right now it's shaping up for Clutch or Echo Fox could be in first place, and if TSM is in 6th, they would probably take both of them.
I'm looking at seeing probably Clutch Cloud9 in the top, and Echo Fox gets knocked out of their bye, and they lose.
That's what I'm saying. They could be there. They could, but I don't see them. I don't see that happening.
We'll continue this conversation. We'll move on to the next slide, though. I have like a weird metal chat about like the international market of metal in my chat for some reason. But anyway, so what we see here is the locked in green is the playoff locked. Red is knocked out, no chance. And then we have this little race for 5th and 6th place in the middle, which are the teams we were just talking about.
I mean,
with CLG, TSM, and
it's
Liquid. Looks like Liquid's going to be the one that gets knocked out. The way TSM's been playing.
I mean, neither of them, honestly. This is the last week.
Yeah, but
and CLG has to win both their games, and TSM and Team Liquid both have to lose both. That's the only way that CLG gets in there.
The last game is CLG versus TSM.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. CLG has to win that one. if they lose, if CLG loses one game or TSM or Liquid win one game, then CLG's out
That's true.
and the other two are in
That's true. That
because
suck.
they got 2 wins up on them. If it was 1 win, then it'd be a close race. But right now, I don't see TSM and Liquid. I don't see both TSM and Team Liquid losing both their games, and I don't see CLG. Well, CLG could win both their games, but Liquid and TSM should take one this weekend,
All right. Well, when we get back,
especially with it on the line.
when we get back, let me take a look. Actually, we can talk about it right now. But let's see who they
Yeah,
have.
we'll see.
Who
We
they
got the
have
next
coming up.
week
But
stuff coming up.
it really would make me sad right now. Like the way CLG, like I'm not a CLG fan, but this comeback is like, oh man, I would. This is actually cool. I feel like they're an actual team,
I mean,
like Golden Guardians, but to a better scale, can show
it's just
improvement.
it's just the spring split. They still got the summer split to come up.
Yeah, that's true. But there's a question that I've seen going around Reddit is like, is there a concern about who North America is going to have to show us or basically represent us at MSI? Is it going to be Clutch Gaming? Is it going to be Echo Fox? Is it going to be TSM? And TSM is going to get dumpstered. The only team that I think that could do good would be Cloud9 and CLG.
Of course, you think Cloud9 would be good.
Yeah.
I think Clutch would be fine. Also, you've never seen them compete on a international. None of their players except for Bivin.
Yeah.
And
Lyra as well.
But teams 1 through 6 are all so close that any of them could represent NA at MSI and do well. I don't think any of the teams are that weak. I think 100 Thieves would even do well, but I mean MSI is going to be 2 out of 3s later on, and we'll see in the playoffs who really shows up in 2 out of 3s. And I think, I mean, it's going to be what it always is: TSM, C9, and if CLG made it, that'd probably be 1, 2, 3 if they all got into the finals. But TSM, well, I mean, Liquid could lose both games and CLG win both their games, and then Liquid or CLG would be in. Just not very likely.
I'm just gonna say, be prepared for a long ass Sunday because I can see some tiebreakers coming. Another thing I can see is
that'd be good.
Like you see the Clutch and 100 Thieves are both tied, but they're only a game below Echo Fox and Cloud9, which brings to mind like, what if Echo Fox and Cloud9 went 0-2 and they went 2-0 this week? We have a new 1-2.
It's gonna be good to see. And Clutch just beat Echo Fox, so there might be a tiebreaker for who's in first place.
Yeah, or second even, because those are the two biggest spots because those give you that first round bye. And then I did learn reading up and listening to Mark Z that it is a dynamic seeding. So after semifinals, whoever wins, kind of like with NFL, you take the lowest seed from whichever side or whichever top or bottom. Even if you had, let's say, 3 and 6 playing here at the top side, on the bottom side you had 4 and 5 playing. The lowest seed would play number 1, and the highest seed coming out of those matchups. Well, I mean, so you could get 3.
3, 6, 4, 5, and then number 1 goes against 5 or 6 or 4, whoever wins. 4, 5, or 6, whoever wins, and then 2 gets 3, 4, whoever wins.
Well, no, you get the 2 will get the highest seed. So if 3-1, 2 or 4-1, so it's the dynamic. They're not. It's not gonna just fall. It's the dynamic. So, but moving on. So this last week's game stats. Oddly enough, I did actually think FlyQuest was gonna take that game from Clutch or CLG. That game was pretty back and forth, and it was scary. And I was like, oh man, CLG has this amazing run. It's gonna end here, and somehow Stixay, or if I was to quote Cloud9, little Dixay.
And that's the game that I missed on DraftKings. I didn't expect CLG to come out so big, but picking CLG was a winner for DraftKings. They got so many UC Stixay 20 kills, and they had such a high kill game. Biofrost with 33 assists over the week. So yeah, it was a lot of points coming out of CLG, and that would have been a good take there. And I would say in the upcoming game, CLG also, just because their games have been really high kill games.
Yeah, it's interesting to note we were right on that portion last time when we said now the Tracker's Knife is taken out. We did have, who was it? We had Onda last time, was still at the top, but now
last week was still all 3 supports.
Was it?
but
Oh yeah.
yeah. That was the first week of no tracker's knife.
No Tracker's
We'll
Knife
see.
supports takeover. So
Yeah, all seems about right. Most kills, 280 carries into. I mean, 12 and again, this is what happened last week with Cody's son had 20 kills, and then the next two were 10 away, pretty much. So just a really high kill games from
from Sticks Day.
CLG,
Yeah,
as
Sticks
you can
Day
see.
did really well. And then
Bloodiest game, 34 kills.
Biofrost was doing amazing this
I
last
mean, look,
weekend.
see, this is what I don't get. Oh, that was just the bloodiest game, 34 kills. Biofrost had 33
Well,
assists.
it was a 51-minute game.
Well, I was thinking Biofrost was going to have a lot more kill participation because 33 out of 34, but that's over 2 games. And that's just 1 game.
Yeah, he did. He did though. I think for that FlyQuest game, have near 100 or 90% kill participation, and I think the next game there was just not as many kills. But I got to question why Optic decided to put Zig back in. I thought Dokla was doing fine. And I don't think Zig really helped them out much. I guess it is a tank meta, so they wanted to put their tank top laner back in. But I don't know. It just didn't seem like it helped out very much.
They needed, I mean, because the meta changed, so maybe they thought Zig would do better. But most deaths. Good job, Zig.
Good job. Way to come back. All right.
And what did I say last week?
Olaf, 100%.
I said you'd see Olaf come up in there.
Yep.
After
Rise.
watching a few LCKs and they were picking him up, 100%. I mean, 8 bans out of him and 8 bans out of the Skarner too. It was like if they pick Skarner, we pick Olaf. If they pick Olaf, we can't pick Skarner. We have to ban out whatever.
So what I was seeing in those, there was one game where they actually said it was Olaf versus Skarner, and it's like Skarner uses his ult on Olaf, and Olaf uses his ult, and now both of them don't have an ult. Basically,
yeah, but
you
Olaf
get them.
can re-engage after that, and now Skarner doesn't. Skarner's only use at this point almost is his ult. He does about nothing else.
He has stuns. He has some stuns, proccing stuns that don't have any.
Yeah, but he has the stun to ult somebody back, basically. I saw a game last night, or when was it? Maybe 2 nights ago. 4 members had QSS, and just the Sejuani didn't have QSS. So what does Skarner do? Can't do anything. So it's just everybody builds QSS, and well, you try to kill a Sejuani, but she's too tanky. You pull her. She has.
That's when you blame your team. That's when you yell at your team and you say, "Oh, focus."
Yeah. Well, you build boots. You just Sejuani builds Merc treads, and then it doesn't last as long. You get the stun. Then the team peels a little bit, and now your ult was wasted because Sejuani Q's away, and then Warmogs everything back up. So Skarner, probably see a little bit less Skarner this upcoming week, with Olaf being able to take him out and QSS being so strong. Skarner you might not see 100%. Still possible. I don't like the Kazakhs getting 90%, 4 picks, 5 bans. I don't think he's that strong in this meta at all. And you could see
it's like what we were,
out of his 4 picks, he's not even 50%. He's not even up there.
It's like what we were talking about, though.
Wins.
He's one of those junglers that now we don't have a tracker's knife. He's like a living ward. He can always invade and have a safe escape if he needs to, or a way to get away.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but
he's
more
like
often
that
than not, more often than not, he's not getting those picks, and he's not getting ahead. And then late game, he's basically a slow and then a jump in and die almost.
Well, that's because you're going up against
he's not getting big enough.
Yeah, it's like because you're going up against Olaf or Skarner or Zach, and it's like it's going to take longer than just one combo to kill this person.
He's just not getting big enough. I don't think. I think Kazakh shouldn't be being picked in this meta. I like the Zach pick.
Yeah,
3 wins, 1 loss is big, and he's not even in the highest presence.
Gangplank's still staying in. Gangplank is staying in the meta somehow with all the nerfs they gave to him.
I mean, he's 3-0.
Yeah,
just
somehow
the late game scaling. Games are starting to last longer again.
Yeah.
So he's scaling up to late game. Varus, I thought, would drop off a little bit more, but 3-2's not too bad. Sejuani and Zach are big. You'll probably see them banned a little bit more often this weekend. And maybe the Skarner Olaf being picked up.
Prediction. So this was last week was still on 8-5. Although it did some fixes. Swain, I don't know if you noticed, but Swain got some range fixes. Now his
Swain got a big buff.
Yeah, he got a big buff. So I see him coming up. I feel like Zoe's gonna have a higher presence again because they nerfed her to shit, and then they're like, oh well, maybe we did too much. So instead of 100%, we'll put it at 80%, and instead of the Sparkles dealing like 10%, they'll deal 60. So they still nerfed her. It took her away, but now they're kind of trying to get her into that middle where she's still viable, because I think everybody loves her as a
Yeah.
player. Like, she's got some really good mechanics and she's fun to play. It just sucks because nobody
She
else.
gets too OP and she's just too reliant on the trouble bubble. Her ult is, especially when I play against her as Zac, like if she ults forward, I can just E right on where she's
Well-
gonna come back to and get the hit, and it's easy to predict. But
Well-
just the sleep bubble cross map is
Well, now you can.
huge.
Now your QSS or cleanse will actually cleanse, even if
Yeah,
you're in a
it'll
draft. It'll cleanse the whole thing. It doesn't cleanse
It'll take
one
that
half.
off.
It'll take
So
the
if
whole
you
thing
get
off. So
if you get Skarner Zoe in the same game, you're just gonna see everybody build QSSs basically.
Yeah. So yeah,
Or
it'll
run cleanse or something like that.
But yeah, so those are some interesting things. Moving into last week's predictions, we tied
Looks
this
like I got
week.
beat up. I got beat up on predictions on day 2.
Yeah, day 2 you got destroyed. But I tried to take the logical pick because I was like, oh, Echo Fox should win maybe against Clutch, but it was a toss up. We both said it was basically a toss
Yeah.
up. First to third, not too big of an upset to see there.
Both picked Liquid over TSM. I mean, we put Golden Guardians a little bit too high of a pedestal, I think, and Hunter Thieves
showed
put
up.
them back down in their last place where they've been all season. So
Yeah, I mean, you still have to give
Golden Guardians did not look good this weekend.
still have to give Golden Guardians props. They came back and they showed us that they're not garbage.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I mean, the first day kind of went pretty much expected. You can see all these wins going the way they did. Obviously, CLG was looking better than FlyQuest. That makes sense. Optic definitely should lose to Cloud9. That makes sense. Team Look at TSM. Toss up. TSM takes it. 100 Thieves should win against Golden Guardians. We, like you said earlier, had a little bit too much hopes in them. And then, yeah, I mean, that kind of really sums it up. So we came off that week with 2 correct, and we both got those same ones. Well, sorry, you had 3. I had 2.
Yeah.
Moving into day 2, though, I decided to take the upset for once. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this.
You took
Figure
it
out,
once, man. You
and I
got it. After the first day of seeing Fox lose to Clutch, maybe I would have switched, but
Yeah.
I mean, I predicted
I think
them
that
to lose anyway.
I think
but-
that hands Echo Fox their first O2 weekend. Is that correct? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their first
Yeah, I
O2
believe so.
weekend of the split, which is something that's been hard for them to come back. I know they've had a couple 1-1 weekends, but this will be the first time when it's like, oh damn, what did we do wrong? So.
And we both picked Guardians over FlyQuest, and they probably should have won.
Yeah, they definitely
FlyQuest
should have
has
won that
been
game.
pretty trashy, but yeah, and then Clutch probably should have beat Liquid too, but Liquid looked good that game. TSM beating Cloud9.
That's one thing I wanted to...
Like I said, the new meta with Mike Young in there, he's looking a lot stronger. Hopefully Cloud9 can figure it out.
I think the game was even. The
end.
game was straight even until literally the thing that like tilted me as a Cloud9 fan, the reason of a League of Legends fan, was Svenskeren dying for no fucking reason. Twice to Bjergsen. And that literally threw the game because off of that they got Baron pressure, and then off of that they got the team fight pressure over Baron around Baron area again. And it made me like think like either Bjergsen's just a god or like there was some like not scripts. But I felt like I felt like he could just see Svenskeren. Like their souls are linked.
Bjergsen is good, man. He's got very good presence of mind and map awareness.
Yeah,
So,
both of those times he could not see where Svenskeren was at all, though. It was crazy, and it's like, wow, oh my god, that's like.
he's just good, man.
If it was
he's a good player.
If it was CS,
That's why they say he's the best.
if it was CS:GO, we would have seen Twitch chat saying "vac, vac, 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 vac" the whole time. So,
Yeah.
but no, it was definitely a very good performance by Bjergsen. It's gonna be interesting to see how they match up with their best of threes. TSM has always been known for being very adaptable in their best of threes. You know, losing the first game, always winning the second one. That was the whole name of the game for the last split. But it's gonna be interesting to see how Clutch takes to those, the BO5s or best of threes or any kind of best of series. And then Team Liquid, they're very seasoned. 100 Thieves, very seasoned. They should kind of have an understanding. Cloud9 kind of have an understanding. So the biggest one for me is seeing how well Clutch as a new team in respects merge into BO3s and best of 3 games. Because we saw Envy. Envy had a shitty last split or last season. Envy had a terrible time in best of 3s.
Well, they were usually losing the first game anyway, so
Yes, true.
they're just better. Forbidden and Solo brought it back for them.
Yeah.
So you got 1 week to beat me now. I mean, a 4 out of 10 looks really bad after I had an 8 out of 10 week, but
Yeah.
still
Last week,
fantasy.
went
Got to
down.
catch 2
We both
games on
went
me
down
this week
half.
somehow.
Somehow.
I'm just gonna pick.
I
I'm
will
just gonna pick everything he picks.
That's
He
all right. I'm
can't
gonna
beat
I'm gonna pick shitty picks, and we'll just both stay where we are and have terrible percentages.
And I'll beat you. That's all that matters.
All right, but that puts our overall throughout the split. We both went down 2% or 2 to 3% on either side. As I said, at 48, just below 50% on weeks 4 through 7. You're at 52. You were at 55, and I was at 50. But then that also put me throughout the whole split. I dropped 3% from 56 to 53. So I'm sitting about halfway through. Obviously, we could do better, but we just trusted Golden Guardians too much this week.
Yep.
God damn it, high. What the fuck, man? But yeah, that moves us into the power ranking. So I went ahead and I switched some things up. I went ahead and moved this up. I put CLG right now. This is accurate. Now you always tell me that don't base it off on how I think the split should end. Base it off on what the teams look like.
It's funny because now I put mine where I think the split is gonna end since this is the last week.
Yeah. So
well,
right now,
how it's gonna be after this week is how I put my power rankings.
Yeah. So I would say I wish that CLG could get this high, but they can't. But the way they've been playing, they should be this high. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I would say the way TSM is playing, that CLG isn't a better team right now.
True. But didn't CLG? Oh yeah, no, CLG has not played TSM yet. But CLG did beat Team Liquid. They beat Echo Fox. They beat Cloud9. Like,
if I were to put mine like that, I would also put Echo Fox down to like number 7 under Liquid, TSM, 100 Thieves, and CLG. Yep. I don't think Echo Fox is better than any of them right now in this split or in this new patch.
As we go into the playoffs, do you see, that whole narrative at the beginning of the split? Echo Fox is the explode or implode team, where they'll either explode and do amazing, or they'll implode and do shitty. Do you think?
I see them down at 6th, 7th right now. I don't see them making it.
Do you think that if they don't make top 2 or even first place after their dominating first half of the split, they will implode? Like, they were just like, oh my fucking god! Like, I feel like
I don't think it matters where they finish here. I don't think they're gonna win their first series.
All right, I think a lot of people would agree with you too. I honestly would. I don't think they have anything more than just one game tricks. It's easy to figure out Huni, as we can see through the 1 games. Even with people's other team's second game against them, it's easy to figure out Huni. But if you have 2 to 3 games to figure it out, you can find some way to lock him down. And like they were saying, Echo Fox has been showing a very big weakness in their bottom lane, and a lot of teams have been attacking it. And so you kind of have to base Echo Fox solely around, can Dardoch gank bottom lane to help them out?
I mean, Dardoch's looking really good, but in the new meta, not as good.
Yeah, and it's like, can Phoenix...
Maybe his meta changed.
Can Phoenix and Huni run the game? And if they can't, like if you have a good top laner like Impact, can Huni win? Can he make a big enough difference to actually win the game?
Yep.
So yeah, that's kind of where I had him. I really do hope CLG. This is all for the hopes and dreams. I want TSM to get knocked out. That would be awesome.
I don't see it happening, man.
I don't see it happening, but
I don't see it happening.
That would be some pretty cool stuff. But moving into yours, I did update yours this time, I believe. So let you talk on those.
Yeah, I put, like I said, I put it how they're gonna finish out this week, basically. I think Clutch is gonna end up being in first after their 2 games. Cloud9 in second. Echo Fox will move down to third. I'd move them lower, but even if they lose both their games, they'll still be there. Well, Echo Fox goes against 100 Thieves, so we'll see who wins that game. Right now, 100 Thieves is looking like they should, so those would be swapped. So Echo Fox would drop all the way down to 4th. Liquid and TSM. Next, CLG in 7th. I don't think they'll make it. Still think Golden Guardians is a better team than FlyQuest and Optic is all the way at the bottom. Even though they've beaten Golden Guardians twice, I think Golden Guardians has a better team looking at their competitiveness with all the other teams.
And I think doesn't Golden Guardians have a relatively, not easy, but a relatively good week? They don't have anybody too crazy, I believe, right?
No, they got. I mean, we can look at it right now. Golden Guardians have to face TSM first and then Clutch, so they're gonna lose both of theirs.
If they
Optic's
win
gonna
both,
lose both of theirs, most likely.
win both though, They could be like that team. They're knocked out, but they're like that stealing team. You know, like that.
Oh, they could change. They could change
steal
the
and
whole
just
thing.
change the
If
whole
Golden
bracket.
Guardians beats TSM, then CLG goes against TSM. Well, so CLG will have to beat Optic the first day, which will most likely happen. And if Golden Guardian spoils TSM and ends up winning that game, then the CLG TSM game gets way more exciting because winner goes in and loser goes home.
Yeah.
Or actually, TSM beat CLG the first time, I believe. So it would be another tiebreaker.
Really?
To see who goes in.
Let me take a look at that. Let me make sure.
And you could end up having a three-way tie because the other team there is Liquid,
And
and Liquid has to
loses
go
to
against
Cloud9.
Liquid has to go against C9 first, and then they have to go against Optic, which they'll win. So TL should be secured. TL should be secured. TSM CLG is gonna be down to the wire.
So
If
CLG.
TSM has one of the easiest games in Golden Guardians, and if they win, then they're automatically in. TLC9, however, that could go either way, and then TL would have to beat Optic, and CLG would have to beat TSM, so it could be a tiebreaker that way also. So there are two possible tiebreakers, just for that 5th, 6th spot, depending on how day one goes. Because right now it's kind of shaped up for TL to lose, TSM to win, CLG to win. So now you have a two-way tie there, and day 2, TL should beat Optic, and then the CLG TSM would matter for TL and CLG, depending on if TL can beat C9 or not.
So this is when Hotshot GG meets up with Reginald after the game. If that scenario was to happen, and say, "Hey, you're gonna throw this game because I'm gonna give you $2 million to throw the game."
yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
No, but it's really cool. It'd be interesting. I would definitely think it would definitely shake up the split if Golden Guardians was to win one of their 2 games. Play that playoff stealing spot. You know, like that guy just ruin all your hopes and dreams.
The second day they could take away first place from Clutch. They could drop Clutch to 4th place.
Yeah.
Depending on day 1. So I mean,
depending on if 100 Thieves and Clutch like that game. Yeah.
Day 1 has 2 very, very close games with 100 Thieves and Clutch. They're both tied. C9 and TL will also be close since C9's been looking a little bit worse and TL's been looking a little bit better. FlyQuest and Echo Fox will even be interesting. Echo Fox just came off 0-2 and they've lost to Golden Guardians. So that game is weird. And the only one that I can almost say is guaranteed is CLG against Optic. But we know nothing's guaranteed around here.
Nope.
So let's go through predictions real quick.
All right, moving down into the predictions.
Like I said, bunch of rough games.
It is rough. I can see
few
multiple
upsets.
winners.
There are, I think, 3 upsets possible. Optic over CLG, Golden Guardians over TSM, and FlyQuest over Echo Fox, I'd say would be the upsets. And the other games are just really, really close.
Could you think 100 Thieves could be Echo Fox on that day too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Definitely.
They probably will.
All right.
Echo Fox might drop both if they get upset by FlyQuest. They'll probably go 1-1.
So yeah, I did not do a match of the week this week.
We'll see.
Not only because I didn't have enough time, but as well because I think every match in here matters and deserves enough. All of them deserve enough attention because whether it's a game deciding your fate or if you lose this game, there's so many things that are going off in this last week, and because the way the split is and how close everything is, a lot of stuff can be changed. So starting off with that first game, I'll let you go first. What do you think?
No, I'll let you go first.
You just want to copy. I
wouldn't do that. I haven't done that all season.
No, you haven't. I mean, I would go. You'd want to say 100 Thieves right now, mainly because they've been looking pretty good in the past couple weeks. But Clutch is a very solid team, and they've been demonstrating that despite everybody not having their back. And Mark Z for the very first time, they finally got a analyst vote that they're gonna win their game. Like it took them 8 weeks and them getting up to 3rd place and almost tying in for 2nd, and finally. But so it's a hard game to cast because 100 Thieves should win this if they can continue on this upward trend, whereas Clutch have demonstrated that they can win this too. Interestingly enough, though, let's see here. Who won the last meeting between these teams? So 100 Thieves did win the last meeting. I think that was early on, like week 1 or week 2, maybe even 3.
Yeah. Clutch wasn't looking as good.
So I'm gonna go with clutch. Now I think it's a logical answer, but I also think that 100 Thieves have, I don't know who they scrim against, but I don't think they've had a chance to play against the clutch as they've gotten better on stage. And yeah, I just think Clutch developed a very good, solid strategy, especially when we saw them against Echo Fox the other week, showing off that not only can they take aggressive fights, but they also know how to be defensive and peel away and protect themselves from losing too much on over extensions. So
All right.
I'm gonna take CG.
I'm gonna take Clutch also.
Okay.
100 Thieves might win. Just they look good in the new meta last week. And Clutch did drop a game, but that's why I had the power ranking set, because I think Clutch will at least win that game to move on up. And they lost to Liquid and
But Liquid's
CLG.
been looking really good, and CLG both. Both of those teams
Yeah.
have been looking good coming into the second half,
So
trying to improve.
yeah, so I'll take Clutch, and then moving on, I'm gonna take Echo Fox over FlyQuest. I don't see that upset happening, even though Echo Fox has been playing a lot worse, and FlyQuest beat Golden Guardians last week. So Golden Guardians beat Echo Fox, so you never know. But definitely
It's a
taking Echo Fox
little
there.
circle. I'm gonna take Echo Fox as well. That takes I wanted to say when I was first looking at it, I wanted to say FlyQuest, but that's more of like, oh, that'd be cool to watch
So
more than it's
C9
likely.
against Liquid is
Very
gonna
close
be a
game.
really close game. Um,
I think I'm actually gonna vote
I
against
want to take.
Cloud9 on that one. I'm gonna
Yeah,
take TL.
I was gonna take TL also, since TL's been looking good and C9 hasn't.
But
That'll probably be a game.
it also doesn't hinder. I mean, Cloud9's gonna be in the playoffs no matter what. And if Clutch wins, I actually think even though I
Yeah,
want Cloud9 to be the best team, I want to see a
TL
new
will want it
face.
more.
Yeah, I want to see a new face at the top. So I want to see Clutch at the top. So I want to see them win. TL
Okay.
definitely will want it more. Cloud9
I'm
has been
taking.
looking shaky, especially against teams that are as good or can put up a challenge against them.
I'll take TL as well there.
All right.
TSM Golden Guardians. I'm not going for the upset here. Always like taking the Golden Guardians, but we're going TSM for that one.
We've really mellowed out, Kevin. We used to be crazy. You know, first couple weeks we did this, we're like, oh yeah, upset. Oh, I can see this happening. Yeah, let's go ahead.
I mean,
Now we're like,
I can see that happening too, but
yeah.
I think TSM will take that one with their playoff spot on the line. Golden Guardians will be trying to win, but not as hard as TSM. So TSM on that one, and then
think. I mean, High has always had a hard time against Bjergsen, but Bjergsen is also. I know people will say this. Bjergsen is a very solid mid laner, and across all the times High and Bjergsen have met, Bjergsen has won most of the times. But the problem where Bjergsen lacks and High is strong is in team fighting and making really aggressive calls. Bjergsen is used to laning against like Jensen, Power of Evil, like the kind of mid synergy EU kind of stable for late game. Oh, I can take
so
this
you think
fight.
High's gonna beat him? Is that what you're trying to tell me right now?
No, I'm saying I expect
In
High.
team fights, no.
I expect
I
High
don't
to
think
get
so
one
either.
solo kill on Bjergsen.
No, I don't see that either.
He's done it almost every game against Bjergsen because he always
Okay.
takes the really like the thing like, oh, he can't win that. Like only a dumbass would do that because and then somehow he does.
So who are you taking?
I'm taking TSM.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay. And then CLG over Optic. I'm unless you want to take the upset there.
No, I want to see CLG get into it or get into playoffs,
Okay.
so I
So
definitely want to call
for-
for them.
For
CLG.
DraftKings for day one, CLG against Optic they have as lower. So the biggest upset they have, or the biggest advantage, is TSM over Golden Guardians, and then Fox over FlyQuest, and then CLG over Optic. I think CLG over Optic should be number one, and then Fox over Fly, TSM over Golden Guardians. So, and then the next one is C9 over TL, and then CG over 100 Thieves is the really close match. So a good lineup to do here is to take CLG, since they are, last week they had the bloodiest game. They all had the most kills over everything. Both games, they had a lot of kills, assists, a lot of points coming out of CLG, and Optic's the kind of team that can stay in it with them and get more kills in that game. So a good lineup is probably want to make two, since the CG 100 Thieves one is so close. They're going to be a little bit less expensive, so you can make a CLG CG lineup and a CLG 100 Thieves lineup. Now, if you want to go for the other upset that we were talking about, mini upset, C9 over TL, you can take CLG and Liquid, and you'll be able to get some better TL members out of that lineup. I'd stay away from Fox because they might just roll over FlyQuest and it'd be a really fast game, but they tend to have bloody games. TSM's a little bit too expensive to try to buy some TSM members. If you did like a TSM FlyQuest lineup, if you thought FlyQuest was gonna beat TSM, probably not gonna be the best lineup because FlyQuest traditionally just hasn't scored a lot of
You mean
fantasy league
Golden
points.
Guardians? You mean or
No, FlyQuest hasn't scored a lot of points in their even in their wins. They haven't scored a lot of fantasy points. Same with Golden Guardians and TSM. So I try to stay away from those two games and pick your lineups based off of CLG, C9, CG, 100 Thieves, and TL, because all of those teams have good amount of points. Optic has not scored hard. They having Optic even in their wins have not scored a lot of fantasy points. They're very low on that, and picking them over CLG just wouldn't be the best idea. But TL can take C9 and 100 Thieves can take CG, so swapping those and just CLG being your like main go-to. I want to line up with CLG because they score a lot of points, but you can always do like a C9 100 Thieves, C9 CG, TL CG, TL 100 Thieves lineup too. And I think any of those will score quite a bit. I'd say if you're taking a CLG lineup, make sure you get Stixay because he's going to do a lot. Also, make sure you get Huhi because he's going to score a lot too. I'd say the mid and 80 carry from there are going to be your picks for that. Support pick. Biofrost had the most assists last weekend, so it wouldn't be too bad if you were going to go for Afromu. Always seems to let me down on how many points he scores. Smoothie's going to be a good pickup for support. Jensen's always a good mid if you don't take a CLG lineup and you want to do C9 lineup instead. Jungler is a little bit harder. Svenskeren has been getting a lot of assists and scoring a lot of points, but against TL might be a little bit different, and he didn't look that good in this new patch, so that might not be the greatest pickup. Meteos has looked really good in the patch. He's been playing Zach a lot, and Zach doesn't die very often and
that
gets
was that was his first champion in the LCS, by the way, and it was his main champion for
so
ever.
very good pickup there. Top lane, Licorice, Darshan are going to be good pickups for scoring some fantasy points on there. So that's for day one. A little bit difficult, but like I said, you probably want to stay away from TSM Fox, Optic, Fly, and Golden Guardians. I'd stay right around the middle, and you should be able to make a few good lineups like that.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on to the day two predictions, though. Starting off with that Cloud9 versus FlyQuest game. Definitely, I think we both will agree. Cloud9 definitely should win that game.
Cloud9's winning that one.
Yeah. In a reverse world, Cloud9 will win against TL, but then lose to FlyQuest somehow.
Yeah.
Not all that crazy, though.
Yeah. You got Golden Guardians Clutch again. Going with Clutch. I don't see Golden Guardians dropping. I'm looking at Clutch to pick up 2 wins and get in first place, with C9 dropping 1 to TL and Echo Fox dropping 1 to 100 Thieves here, hopefully.
I will take Clutch, Clutch as well, CEG. It makes more sense. So, don't think that they can win that game.
Here's the game that you're going to... We'll differ on this one because I believe you're going to take CLG.
Yep.
And I'm going to take CLG. TSM. Going to be a very close game. Now, Echo Fox 100 Thieves. Another really close one.
I'm going to take 100 Thieves.
Oh man, I was gonna take 100 Thieves too. Hoping that you take Echo Fox because right now we only differ on one, so you're not gonna get your.
You can
you're
still
not gonna
take
win.
It. You can still take
but
it.
I'm gonna take 100 Thieves. I think 100 Thieves will win. They've looked better, and same with TSM against CLG. I think Mike Young's gonna end up carrying in the new jungle role, and then you got Liquid Optic, both taking Liquid. I'm assuming.
It'd be really crazy if Optic won that game, though.
Would be pretty crazy. That's why it's not gonna happen.
I can always hope. I can always dream. I'm taking Save Liquid as well on that game. I'm gonna say, it's more important that we come out with positive or at least above 50% prediction ratings. It doesn't matter who wins. It doesn't matter, guys.
Yeah. So here's what we have for DraftKings for this second day, you have CG as the biggest favorite against Golden Guardians. Makes sense. TL over Optic, C9 over FlyQuest, Fox over 100 Thieves, TSM over CLG. So
I would take
good.
that CLG and TSM game. Their games have a record of always being very bloody.
Those two are the closest. I'd say that'd be your secondary team to pick one to win.
Yeah.
And I'd say C9 should be way over Fly more so than TL over Optic and CG over Golden Guardians. And so they're third most expensive. So you want to make a C9 TSM lineup and a C9 CLG lineup.
Yeah, that'll yeah.
You could also make a C9 100 Thieves lineup, and you'll get good members from each side on that. And you can still make a Fox TSM and Fox CLG. So again, you want to stay in the middle. CG against Golden Guardians probably won't be that high scoring of a game, and TL over Optic probably not that high score of a game. C9 over FlyQuest, the only problem with that is it might not be, again, a high scoring game. They'll probably just stomp over FlyQuest. You might get 10 kills out of C9, and that's it. So Echo Fox, it might be a better lineup to do Fox TSM, Fox CLG, and then 100 Thieves CLG, 100 Thieves TSM, because both of those games should be really close and bloody. And when you get close games, sometimes it only ends up being like 4-4, and then when they end the game, it ends up being like 8-4 or something like that. So it's hard to say on those close ones. The ones that are stomps are usually like 10-2 or 12-2. They don't end up being bloody because the game doesn't get into it enough. But when people are playing really safe, like TSM and CLG, if they have the spot on the line, you'll probably see that game be very low scoring because nobody wants to really get into it.
It could go either way. It could go either way. It has
that's what I'm saying. It's hard to say. That's what you're betting on.
Yeah,
and
CLG,
it's really the lineups that you can make to come out well.
CLG, TSM, Echo Fox, 100 Thieves, although they're both very close, and like you were saying, can go very low scoring because both teams are playing very protective. They have a higher possibility of blowing up in that game and getting a lot of kills than you would expect in the Cloud9 FlyQuest game, just because, like you were saying, when you're in the lead, you're kind of in the lead, and it doesn't really, unless it's like a really crazy, like, really bad game from FlyQuest or from Optic, you're not going to see crazy, like, 20 kills. Whereas with the CLG TSM game, it's like that little, like that fine thread where it's a close game or one or two team fights, boom, 15-15, or then it goes to 20-10 or something like that.
Yeah, so, but it's very possible that they just end up being like 2-2 the entire game, and then one team fight
also
wins
that's that little hairline
so
that you got to jump over.
Say. So if you're making your lineups, I'd say if you're taking mid laner, you're gonna want to stick with Jensen and Bjergsen for your mid. If you're making a C9 or TSM lineup, your 80 carries, you're gonna want to go with Altec or Stixay.
Oh god, yeah. Take the way Stixay's been playing, especially even on the first day. If you're making that CLG lineup like on the first day, or take Stixay.
On the second day too.
Yeah, second day as well.
For your jungler, you're gonna want Mike Young. Dardoch's been doing well, but not in this meta, so you might want to stay away from Dardoch. Get Mike Young or Rainover also has been doing
Mike Young or Meteos as well. I'd say Meteos would be okay. Well, Meteos might have a good game that day.
Meteos would be alright, yeah.
He'd be like if you really just can't afford it, like you wanted something crazy in your roster, now you can't really afford anybody else. Yeah. Meteos I think would work.
Top lane, you're gonna want Licorice. Hanser is good in this meta again. Darshan's alright, some days alright. Supports, you're gonna want to be Smoothie again. Adrian's not looking that good in this meta either. Mithy looked a little bit better. Biofrost is looking really good. So Biofrost and Stixay is who you want for that. And that should be, like I said, your lineup should C9 Fox, TSM, CLG, 100 Thieves are the ones you're going to want to stick with. C9 is probably the guaranteed win and getting some points off of C9. The rest of them are going to be really close.
There we go.
Yes, as Master, I did see yesterday Sneaky's Dark Lux cosplay, and I turned it off right away because Jesus Christ.
So
What the hell
I
was
don't know. I
that?
think he's. I think that the girl who did his makeup. I think he's in a relationship with her. So I mean, if that's the case,
I don't care. That shit was super awkward.
I mean, maybe that's just how they like it in the bedroom. But
I couldn't do it.
I saw. I love. I've been loving the memes
That
though
was
on the
ridiculous.
on the Facebook thread for League of Legends. I've been loving the memes where it's like you have four choices. Who do you choose? Or you choose Elementalist Lux Bunny Fufu or sorry Box Box. You have Pokimane and you have Fed Mister and then you have Sneaky as Dark Elementalist Lux and it's like wow.
That
Oh
was
my
awful.
god.
Alright. So fantasy, it's looking pretty much the same still.
Interesting enough, Reckless is still maintaining that stop spot or top spot. As we can see, Echo Fox has dropped out of all the positions in the top 5 except for Phoenix and Huni.
Yeah. You got Cody's son still in there. Stixay moved on up, which isn't surprising.
Yeah.
Bjergsen stayed in.
Jensen's just below this, by the way. Wanted to note, or it's
Hootie
not Jensen, but
moved up
Sneaky. Sneaky's just
big
below
too.
it. Yeah.
So yeah, it's looking pretty similar to how it did, but CLG people are going to be moving up a little bit, and so same with 100 Thieves.
And TSM. I think TSM's moving up, especially not even just Bjergsen. I think Mike Young's gonna be moving up, and maybe even Sven.
Mike Young would take a little bit to get up there.
Sven though, Sven can jump up there.
Nah.
No, nah.
Junglers don't jump up in there, man.
No, Sven, not Sven
See,
Skaren, Sven and Mythy. Sven.
Oh, Sven.
Yeah.
Depends on how the games go this week. We'll see. We will see.
Yeah, moving on to the players of the split. As we can see, it looks like we have a continuous thread here, guys. High is going to maintain
Bivin holding the top still.
Yeah,
Cody's son got tied up with Stixay, so that's pretty big. Most deaths, of course, it's high. Most assists, still Adrian, but Biofrost moved up in there with his 33 assist weekend. Kill participation's the same. Vision score, still all junglers. Maybe we'll see a switch this next week.
We haven't played. They haven't played Keen since like week 5, right? Or week 4?
No, Keen has not been in there.
So he's still.
If
up
you're
there.
maintaining, if you have that, then it's gonna stay the same. Everybody else will move down if they missed out on 5 or 6 kills.
That's true.
And then vision score, we'll see next week if the supports get up in there. But they only played 3 weeks, so 6 games with the supports being number 1 vision score. So you'll probably see the average vision score stay the same.
Yep. Gosh darn it, High. That's part of those aggressive plays, though. Hooney's still up there, though. Hooney's topping off with him, 45, staying up there in second place for most deaths. Cody's son, was Cody's son moving up in the KDA, or did we see him there last week as well? Or
Yeah, he was up in the...
Okay. Cody's son and Beards. Yes, Cody's son is topping off this chart here, staying on top or close to the top in at least 3 different locations. Good locations, not like the deaths one of High. But yeah, I think that's mainly all the slides I had this week. Interesting going into this last week, so not much to talk about. I guess LCK is looking pretty good. I don't really have much else to say.
Yeah, that'll do it for this week on the Perspective. Thank you guys for hanging out.
I did have one thing.
We'll be back again next week with your final week of LCS until the playoffs.
I did just remember one thing though, but it's LCS related, more esports related. So there's been talk, and I watched Travis Gafford's show last night, and I was even on the show. And there's some talk about Fortnite has been developing a very big player base, and there's a question about if they actually can get an esports scene, if it can eventually take over League of Legends. The biggest thing is no, because just like with PUBG, it's really hard to give a spectator sport or give a spectator view of a battle royale. And it'd be something crazy if they could actually pull it off.
Spectator view isn't the hard part. It's the randomness of stuff that you get and landing and picking something up, and then you're out of the game because you didn't find something somebody else did. It takes away. There's not going to be any skill in landing there. I mean, you could say it's skill like, oh, there's 4 people going there, let's go somewhere else, but then you have to go somewhere shitty, they all get looted up and you don't have that much loot. And if you have the same shot and you're like just as good as each other, they have the better loot, they're probably going to win. There is a lot of skill based stuff and shooting and building and stuff like that in the game, but again, it's so random. The way they do it is all right because they have like 3 or 4 games, and then whoever places the highest gets a certain amount of points, second gets a certain amount of points, and then you go on like that. But you could have your best team get wiped out in the first 20 seconds of a game, and then they have to get first place in the next 2 just to come back. So there's too much randomness in it. It'll still be fun to watch. PUBG tournaments still get a lot of stuff. I don't think it'll take over League of Legends ever. It'll be fun to watch. People still get into it, but just the randomness of drops you get and different stuff like that takes a lot of stuff out of the game. Somebody has a golden AR and you have a green, and that's all you found. Like, even if both your shots are 100% on, the guy with the golden AR is going to win. And then if people find shields and the other people didn't, just there's too much randomness in it. That's why like something like Halo was a lot more fair, because everybody knows where spawns are. There's the same spawns on both sides. You both start with the same guns, and then it's a fair fight based off of skill, how you position and stuff like that. In this one, you could start, if they started everybody off with like a green AR and 100 ammo, when you drop in, then it's going to be a lot closer. But then still, who finds shields and all that? So Battle Royale is just a hard thing to get into an actual esport, I think. Still be entertaining to watch. Still can show different skill. Like there'll be people who are really good with a pistol. They find a pistol or a shotgun. Somebody finds an AR. They might out pistol somebody with an AR.
Yeah.
So it's still skill based in that. But like I said, when you have the highest level of players, the guy with the AR is going to win.
It's also that sketchy moment between, there's always new video games coming out, and like we've known with console games in specific, since this was also released on console games, and that's partly why it's so big right now, is that console games tend to fall off. Once the next game comes out, they all just start playing the next game.
Yeah, but this one's on PC, and I mean that's the other thing too. If you have
cross-play though, I wish it was.
Well, so the thing is, if you have pros, what if you have the best dude on PlayStation? Can he beat the 4th best guy on PC?
Honestly,
beat the
never.
10th best guy
Never.
on PC?
They did that.
When they have actual tournaments, is it going to be? Are you going to be able to use controller or mouse and keyboard? How are they going to do that?
It's you can't.
So it's really hard.
You can't judge that, because honestly, there's no way that a guy on a controller could ever out aim a guy with a mouse. There's no way to compensate it.
Yeah. PS4 players are bots, Will. I see.
Hey, I almost forgot. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like the content, we'll be back for more next week.